I'm at Joyce Kilmer Memorial Forest. He's the author of the poem The Trees. It's fairly well known. There's the entrance to the trail going up through the forest. We hadn't got up there to the main part yet, but here's a plaque that they put on a big rock here. Here's the creek or river, whichever one it is, going down in at the bridge at Joyce Kilmer's entrance, the Joyce Kilmer Memorial Forest entrance. And then right next to the creek is the sign here. I just backed up and got that. It's right before the bridge going across the creek where you go up to the trail. It says Joyce Kilmer, and it's Slick Rock Wilderness, Nantahala National Forest. Here's what the trail looks going up through there. Pretty wore out because a lot of people come here. It's a maintained trail. It's not like you're just huffing it through the woods or anything. Come on to a nice looking little bridge here they put over the trail, and a little bitty branch running down right off the mountain. Now, I don't know anymore, but when I was growing up, you could drink water right out of any of these branches, and it was clean water. Wouldn't hurt you whatsoever. Nowadays they tell you need to boil all your water and don't drink from any stream and all that, but I don't know if that's true or they're just being cautious. But we used to be able to drink from all these creeks, little branches coming off like that, any of them up here in the mountains. Here's an interesting tree off the side of the trail. It's a poplar tree. Still clinging on to life, but it's been burned out inside. You can actually step in here. It's actually got a couple of natural windows in it. It's just right off the trail, right up there at the main trail, just right there. Here's another little interesting thing off the side of the trail here. How this tree's growed up around that rock and how the roots is up off the ground right there to the base of the tree. I don't really know what's happened exactly right here over the years. There is a spring right here, just a seeping spring, so I guess this tree's probably just growed up kind of right there around that spring, and it's made it be like this. But there's even a root growing around through here all the way around, and the root of that tree just kind of encases this little spring a little bit. Now there's water running right down through here from back in there, so the spring probably comes from right back in there somewhere, and it runs out here and it just ponds up a little bit right there. But I thought it was interesting how that rock was in that tree and how that all looked. So this is Joyce Kilmer Memorial Forest, as I've been saying. I went past this tree. I've got an OtterBox thing laying there just for a little bit of comparison of size. That's the only thing I have for size. Now, I have a wife and 2 boys, and we tried to reach our arms around this tree, and we were able to barely reach around this tree, all 4 of us. My boys ain't real little. They're getting on up there, but they ain't grown. But anyway, we was able to reach our hands around that tree. But if you had little young'uns, you couldn't probably do it. There's another one of the big trees. There's a big stump where one has been. And then back here, I'll try to swing around easy here. Another big tree up there. That's what this area is known for here. The Joyce Kilmer Memorial Forest is known for these big trees. Big poplar trees in here that's never been cut. Just standing at the base of this one. Just judging right off the bat, this tree's probably got a 5.5 to 6 foot DBH. Just to give you some size comparison there. And I'm just assuming everybody knows what DBH is, but I'll tell you it's diameter at breast height. So basically at about 4.5 feet or so, what would be about breast height. Then this tree's about 5.5 or 6 foot thick, depending on which way you measure through there. And the way you measure DBH in forestry is measure all the way around the tree at breast height, and then there's a special tape measure that you do it with and it converts it over. Or you had a regular tape measure, you could just convert it over with a formula to get from circumference to diameter at breast height. Anyway, that's kind of the first of the big trees you come to in here. Just thought I'd show a little bit of that. And like I said, that's the trail I come up on. Here's another plaque on the way up the trail, just past the first of them big trees that I showed. Come up to another one of these big trees. This one here is actually even bigger than the last one I showed. Peaceful back in here, these big trees and stuff. Here's a dished out place in the rock, right on the trail of Joyce Kilmer Memorial Forest. These big trees in here were never cut. There's virgin timber back in here. The whole area around here was logged. All these mountains around here was pretty much logged, most of the area around here. But this little bitty area in here, there was a little bitty area in this area here that wasn't logged. This is some of the big trees here, and I showed you some of the others. A couple of pretty good sized ones over there on that side. But what happened is that after everything else was pretty much logged, this was kind of the last place that they were going to log out, and for whatever reason they didn't log it and they preserved it. So we have just a little bit of timber in these mountains that is not logged. I don't know that this is actually the only area whatsoever. There may be some way back in the park and stuff, but pretty much all these mountains right around this area in Graham County here was logged. I hope you enjoyed my video.